Yeah, one of the first kids we got in foster care was came from a very severe neglect situation, and he literally, we'd go driving around. He'd actually point to all the hotels they lived in. They never really lived in a regular home. All his teeth were rotted out in the back because the kids were getting just essentially fed candy and junk food, and he was only 7 years old, but he wasn't potty trained. He wore pull-ups all the time, and he'd sit there in his room, go like this, and he'd been to two separate foster parents before us, and they said this kid, and they were all looking to adopt, and they were looking at him and they thought, oh, this kid will never be normal. And anyway, it's like he comes into our home, and we just had the structure, the food, and he would gag naturally on natural food. That's been one of the major issues. But we just put into there we put him on a point card to kind of, he had to earn privileges, because before he was sat down in the video games and TV were the babysitter, and but it's just the expectations were, hey, my wife just says, okay, you're taking the pull-ups off, and we expect you to behave, and to go to the bathroom. There was a lot of issues, but he, we had to do a lot of role playing and different situations, because he didn't know how to interact with other kids appropriately, and so it was just role play after role play, and make kind of and even eating normally and things like that. We'd just have to role play, how to make friends, how to, you have a conflict with the kids at school, and how to do that, and just the higher expectations and the role play. Gradually, he just kept improving a little bit at a time, and we had some major issues along the way, but now he is doing great. He's actually, we were proud of him. He took some tests that he scored in the top half of his class, and doing very well. And he's now he was always a little bit, he wanted to be outgoing, he just didn't know how to, he couldn't recognize, he was actually diagnosed autistic, but people don't see that in him anymore. He's a normal kid. And a lot of that came just from he needed all that extra interaction to overcome all the history, and it made a huge difference.
That's awesome. Anna and David adopted Jordan.
No way.
Yeah, he's 13 now. He actually's been over with her family in the Philippines. We're going to go pick him up here. We're leaving Saturday. So, yeah, he's learned a second language now. He's doing